Uh, my name is Jaspal Singh Grover. Currently, I'm in Poonj Lloyd offshore. Before that, after I superannuated from Yale, Mr. Tandon said, for 6 years I was heading the Inspection Expediting Department of East-West Pipeline, Reliance Gas Transportation. Apart from coating and fabrication of pipes, then we got involved in the other mechanical equipments, and then last 3 years I was in operations of pipelines. Now, for the last 3.5 years, I am in Poonj Lloyd. I have not prepared anything. I had never spoken anything on the dais ever with any prepared subject. You can say I speak a lot, but I am very shy as a regular speaker. I was asked to share my experiences. I'm not speaking on a subject, but I'm just sharing my experiences during my last 20 years of experience in 3-layer pipeline PE coating, polyethylene as well as polypropylene, and FB also. In fact, 94, 95, first time a regular coating plant in Kosikala was set up. Before that, it was only monopoly of PSL. This plant was very well organized. We brought it from Greece, from Socotherm, Italy, and I was involved in setting up the plant for 1 year. And then I was in charge for this 500 kilometer 36-inch, what Mr. Khanna mentioned yesterday. There were some problems in this coating, and a review committee was formed where Mr. Narendra Kumar, myself, Ashwani Soni, and David Norman from UK. We were committee. We went around 400-500 kilometers, dug out bell holes, found out the problem, and rewrote the specifications in EIL, adding whatever is possible to improve the coating. The salient features which I was mentioning in tidbits yesterday, I will just sum it up. We found why the coating failure occurred. At that time, the epoxy thickness was 60 micron, and we were using low density polyethylene. And after that, what we improved firstly is stress on the surface cleanliness. That is most important. Second is anchor profile. Thirdly, what I said yesterday, we started this subject that the profile should be conical and dense. Now, dense part is still open. We have not formalized what should be the P count, what should be the density. We still maintain 80 RZ or 100 RZ or 70 RZ, which is only the height. Third was cleanliness, which I said yesterday, dustiness control. And then differential scanning colorimetry, we use the degree of cure. We maintain 95% cure minimum. Now, then the substrate temperature as per recommendation of the epoxy manufacturers. What Mr. Khanna mentioned yesterday, there is application window for the epoxy. Now, there is one TG1 to TG2. TG1 is what is changed from exothermic to endothermic. That is the reaction. So there is a heat of reaction, that is H and delta H. When the epoxy is cured, when you apply it on the pipe, then if you do the DSC, there is a small amount of heat, still it is left. That shows it is not 100% cured. That delta H, H minus delta H divided by H tells you the percentage cure. Or shift in TG tells you what percentage cure. We maintain 95%. I will just quickly explain the coating philosophy in the plant. We have a station-wise philosophy, incoming station, incoming inspection. Then to get rid of the moisture, we have preheating. And then there is inspection. Then the blasting is in 2 stages. First stage blasting, primarily it is for cleaning purposes. Second stage blasting, we use the grits, which is for anchor pattern. We maintain about 80 RZ to 100 RZ. Then yesterday Mr. Khanna said that in the Gale specifications we have added that the measurement of the chloride content, that is 2 decigram per millimeter square. And then to remove the salt content, we have phosphating treatment, we have then chromating treatment. After that, heating the pipe, then thermostatical spray of the epoxy. and then application of adhesive and top coat, and then go to the cooling zone. Now, if you see the plant, we have series of conveyors. The pipe moves, the conveyors, they have rollers, silicon lined rollers. The rollers has RPM, and they can be tilted to degree which controls the speed of the line speed of the pipe. On line speed, there are 4 parameters which are very, very important. Line speed will tell us how much time it will take from the last epoxy gun to the quench zone. Now, last epoxy guns, we have a series of guns. There may be even 32 guns, depending on the diameter of the pipe. The last epoxy gun, the distance between last epoxy gun and adhesive, this is called intercoat. People are talking about the gel time of the epoxy, but I use the word intercoat. Intercoat is the time elapsed from the last epoxy gun to the first corner of the adhesive. Is the copolymer. On the adhesive, this is polyethylene. Okay. Now, this is around 280, 270 degrees. Then you wait for some time. Then it goes to the cooling zone. Now, if you see the construction of the whole thing, this is zone where the pipe remains unsupported. After application of epoxy, before epoxy zone, there is a support roller. After epoxy zone, you can't touch it. After the epoxy, then there is a PE coating, adhesive coating, PE coating. Then we give it a cure time. It goes to the cooling zone. Now, this is around 2.5 meters. That means the pipe remains overhang 2.5 meters. This restricts the length of the pipe. Minimum we maintain 10 meters. Many people don't understand why not 8 meters, why not 9 meters. Because if it is 8 meters, it will remain unsupported. And this portion, you can't have any roller underneath. Now, intercoat time is nothing, but I'll give you example. हिंदी में बात करता हूँ. मोची होता है, आप लगाता है, बॉस्टिक लगाते हैं, लगा के उसको छोड़ देता है. Immediately चिपकाता नहीं है. फिर उसको हाथ लगा के देखता है. Then he applies whatever you have to apply and leave it. That is early application and late application. Neither you should apply adhesive earlier than so much seconds, nor it should be later than so many seconds. If it is early, then the epoxy has it cannot support itself. It will flow. If you apply adhesive, you will find that the epoxy gets stuck with the adhesive. That means you can't apply adhesive earlier than so many seconds. If you are late, if the line speed is less, and if you are late, more than say 28 seconds, then epoxy and copolymer will not make any bond. When you do the peel test, you will find the shining epoxy. What we want is, we want to remain within the application window. That means neither it should be early, nor it should be late. So what I have been using the word that is called intercoat. I select in between. For every temperature related, you have elapsed time. Intercoat time, I maintain 200 degrees substrate temperature for the pipe, and intercoat for 2 to 6N for 3M epoxy, which is most popular, is around 21 seconds. So you can play 5 seconds, 4 seconds here and there. 200 degrees, you can maintain 195 to 205. These are all maintainable. Then you will find there is no need to do the inspection. If you can control the parameters, inspection is only secondary. It is not important. Then yesterday I said what is most important is dustiness control. When the grits they come to the turbine wheels, very high RPM, 3000 RPM, 4000 RPM. They impinge onto the pipe and they break the head. If you see the hopper where these are loaded, it will be full of dust. So what was the main worry when we studied the problem? We said that no dust should be sitting on the valleys of the blasted zone. So then I just brought, it was in my home. This is the tape, 3M471. This tape is quite thick. Now it has disappeared. No manufacturer, no coating plant wants to use this. This is like this. It's quite thick. And when you press it, as per ISO 8503, you press it with a roller, 4.5 kg roller. It takes the shape of the profile. And it picks up the dust from the valley. But this, I find today when I went last year to Jindal, I took this tape. He said, "Crore Saad, ye to bahut purani baat ho gaya, isko aap use mat kariye." Now this is a hoodwinking. They are using normal tape, which cannot flow, which cannot go into the valleys. So I want someone to take note of that, and we want to restart that this tape which we started using, we must continue using it. No, circumferentially, you apply circumferentially, right? And apply a roller, 4.5 kg roller. It is in the ISO.
That's fine, but after the grid blasting or short blasting,
Yeah.
this tape is to be applied on the entire surface.
No, small.
Just to check the
6 inch. 6 inch, just to check the dustiness, degree of dust.
Okay, but if it doesn't fall in the acceptable criteria, then what to do? What to be done?
Yeah. Now, if it doesn't fall, then they have to clean the hopper
Okay.
and refill the
retest?
refill the grit. They don't want to do that
Okay.
because it costs the money. They have to stop the plant.
Yes.
The cleaning of the hopper is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
And the replenishment of the grit is also very, very important,
Mm-hmm.
which is time consuming and cost.
Yes,
They
sir.
want to avoid it. They don't want to use it. But we were using it. And
Because
it-
fortunately, I also got an opportunity to be associated with the coating plant for the 42-inch pipeline
Yeah.
DVPL project
Yeah.
at Man Industry, Pithampur, Indore.
Yeah.
There they didn't use such type of tapes. What the inspector from the Bureau Veritas, they used to carry their handkerchiefs and check the surface for the dirtiness. So
We have, see, this is as per ISO. You
Yes.
read the specification for GAIL, you made it specially for GAIL.
okay.
And in that specification, we introduced this. And as far as I was there, till I was working, I was using it.
Okay.
And in Reliance, for all 1400 kilometers, as I mentioned yesterday, there's no water wash, there's no chloride control,
Yes.
no phosphating, no chromating. Only I am concentrated on dust control. And the result is fantastic. Dust is the enemy.
Yes. Yes.
It will not
You're
allow.
right.
It will not allow the good bonding of the epoxy with the substrate. That is most important. I mean, if you can take charge, you can start it.
No, sir. Then it is better because in most of the pipeline projects, EIL is the consultant. So this should be an integral part of their specification.
It is there. But I said it is there. But people don't use this tape. They use the tape. They use normal tape. Normal
It should
tape.
be made mandatory actually.
Normal tape does not work. It will not go into the profile because the dust is sitting at the valley. Because
You are right.
when the grit is hitting the pipe with the impingement velocity, very high velocity, it breaks. That is why you find the grit is conical.
Yes.
G30 or G25, it becomes circular. How it becomes circular? Because of dust, because it breaks. That is most important. Second important thing I told you is the temperature control
Yes, sir.
and degree of cure. To maintain the degree of cure, every 12 hours, we must pick up the epoxy from the pipe. There are two ways. Either after 12 hours, one pipe, they should not coat, they should only do the epoxy coating. That they have to terminate and waste one pipe. To avoid this, you see, read our specification, we have introduced a release paper. The release paper is also a standard paper of 3M. It has got certain properties. You go to Google also, you'll find release paper world is there. That release paper, somebody has to place it. But I found when I went for this Punjlat job, I found people have forgotten
using.
it. Most of the coating plants, heads in India, they were working with me in 94, 95 in Kosigala. There was no plant in the country at that time. This was the first plant. And they brought people from PSL. And I was associated. I was heading the coating. Mr. Tandon's guidance. And all those people, they spread out now, they have become heads of plants all over the country. And they know that they recognize what is this, but it does not suit them because it costs them money. Sitting in office, there was a chromating. I'll tell you ill effect. You said DVPL. DVPL, there was a mishap in PSL that they found that at the cutback, the coating was lifted. Then I went there along with PSL people, and it was quite muddy near in the hedge. And we picked up the coating, and we found there is a pattern like this, the black surface. And then I studied. Then we talked to that Chemtrol. Chemtrol is supplying the phosphating and chromating. And we checked the pointage. And after a lot of study with Dr. Krishnan and everybody, I said chromate is the enemy. Because chromate, if you don't wipe it, it becomes thick. It becomes thick. If it is thick, it will not allow epoxy to stick to the pipe. So when you lift it, you find the black color of the chromate. That means even epoxy is sticking to the adhesive. There is no epoxy on the pipe. In this pattern means the wiping was not sufficient. Then I made a big report. I presented to Gail. And there were a lot of people who were opposing chromate cannot behave like this, within a year also. Then Mr. Aspirao gave this job to David Norman. Prepared pieces, they keep somewhere. And when you you check the loading, you witness, you will sign. But the piece doesn't belong to you. Secondly, I found that if you do the epoxy coating at 250 degrees, the cure is much high. The higher the temperature, lower is the cure time. Higher the thickness of the pipe, lower is the cure time. They are very smart. They're very smart. What they used to do, suppose after 12 hours, I want to take epoxy, I am putting a release paper in one pipe. Before that, somebody will go to the control panel. It took me some time to understand what they are doing. We had kept our interpreters, but those girls are very smart. They are siding their people. They are not our friends. What he was doing, he goes to the control panel, increase the load, electrical load, to such an extent that the pipe on which you are going to put the release paper is seeing 240, 250 degrees temperature on that particular pipe. Now when you are taking the sample, this pipe is undergoing coating at very high temperature, 250 degrees. Normal is 200. Now at 250 degrees, it will never fail. Degree of cure is also very good, and cathodic despondent result also will be very, very good. Then physically I had to remove everybody from there. We could understand, we circulated, look, these people are doing like this, so everybody be watchful. Then secondly, they keep the test pieces. They are very, what I say, they are very smart. They know the subject. Let's not say that they do not know. They know the subject very, very well. Hoodwinking is possible. Our Indians, at least, we are much better in the Indian environment because we can control and they also take our side. Yes. I would like to, I am more, used to answering questions rather than giving a lecture or anything like that. We have vast experience, and any type of question you ask on coating, in coating plant, or the philosophy of the coating plant, or the problems. I tell you another very good problem. Indentation test, yesterday somebody was speaking. Indentation has nothing to do with coating. Nothing to do with coating. This is a property of the material. It's the property of material. And I found, first time, indentation is as per ISO, as per DIN, you place first indenter of 250 gram. 1 mm square is the pin. 250 gram, it will insert, it will push the polyethylene. Now, after it stabilizes, the temperature stabilizes, you place again 2.25 kg. So total is 2.5 kg. I found that the readings which were showing was 0.12, 0.13. And the manufacturer says P should be 0.3 at 70 degrees. Am I right, Mr. Dasgupta? 0.3. I said, how? The manufacturer says 0.3, it should be 0.25, 0.28, 0.27. It cannot be 0.11. It cannot be 0.08. Even the dials were also not for 0.3. Then I studied the subject. I found everybody is doing like this. They take the zero reading after it has settled down. In fact, it should not be allowed to settle down. You should take the 0 degree immediately, within 5 seconds. So we designed the indentation, and even in Ilva, Italy, I was surprised. The leading plant in the world. Even they are not, the threshold is after settling down. So their readings also was coming 0.12. Then they took out all the samples, they did it again. In China also they were doing the same thing. Then we designed everywhere in any coating plant in the country, if you go there, that apparatus has been designed by us, by me or by my colleagues. We designed it. So this is one thing about indentation test. Secondly, many people used to come, they have a understanding that holiday test determines the coating bond. How many people think that holiday test will determine the bonding? It has nothing to do with bonding.
I think it detects only the pinholes.
No. It doesn't detect anything. It is, see, it is about 30 kilovolt per millimeter thickness. It can withstand. Okay. If the thickness is less than that, it will not withstand. It has got nothing to do with the bond. You take a sheet of 1 millimeter, place it on steel pipe, and apply the spark, 30 kilovolt. There is no signal. So there is no bond. Many people think it has got something to do with the bond. Many people say that after 5 years, they do the spark test. But what do you gain by spark test? So the bonding dekhega. So bonding has nothing to do with the bond. That is the property of the material. If the thickness is reduced, it will give you a spark. If the thickness is maintained, bond is not required at all. You just place the sheet and strike the arc, you will not get anything. These are few things which many people, they don't understand, and they start doing investigation and they say that I will do the spark test and find out what the bonding. No question? हाँ बोलिए. एम्बेरस मत करना. नहीं. I learnt a lot from Mr. Dasgupta. We are constantly in touch.
Today many epoxy companies are talking of low temperature epoxy, low temperature curing. Now when you use them for 3LP coating, basically what we learned is that unless there is a high temperature on pipe, there is not enough chemical bonds formed between epoxy and the adhesive. Now in low temperature curing epoxy, where you are talking 150, 160 degree pipe temperature, is it good for 3-layer P application?
But we don't encounter low temperature. Low temperature means substrate temperature you are talking?
No, they are talking low temperature
application.
Curing epoxy, yeah, low application temperature.
We have not used. Where have we used? We have not used.
But in every conference today you see papers on low application temperature.
No, substrate temperature. See, substrate temperature can vary from 180 to 250 degrees. 250 degrees is not suitable for 3-layer. 250 degrees suitable for standalone FBE coating, right? Because if you go to 3M, this got 3G, 8G, 12G. Now what is this 12G, 8G, 3G? That is a 12G, 12 seconds is the cure time. They put retarders when you make the epoxy. When I went to implement this plant, Ahmedabad plant, 3M. So I said I want to see the whole thing. They said we never show. But unless they show me, I cannot approve it. So what accelerators, retarders, and this silicate and all that, they add it. They, by putting the retarders or the accelerators, they increase or decrease the cure time. So depending upon your speed, see, if you use a 48-inch pipe or 56-inch pipe, 1 inch thick, now what is the limitation? How can you achieve speed? You cannot, because your induction coil will force you to slow down the pipe speed. Induction coil, you can't have unlimited induction coil, because to accommodate induction coil on the conveyor, you need some distance. And like PSL, they are smart people. Now they are close, of course. They were smart. They have small. They add 1, 2, 3, 4. Like Welspun, they had 2,000 kilowatt. But you can't have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. So this induction coil will determine the speed of the line. The line speed will determine what? Cure time. Cure time will force you the intercore time. Intercore time will again bring you to the line speed. So these are all interrelated. So you can't arbitrarily have a 6 meter speed or 4 meter speed. Now in Al-Qatani in Punjab, they are using 7 meter speed. Now again 7 meter, when 7 meter speed is there, after this coating into the cooling zone, the two conveyors have a separate speed. Idea is one pipe should get de-linked from the back pipe. It should go fast ahead, move ahead, so that full length of that pipe can be taken out. That is the de-linking of the pipes, where the decoupling takes place. So speed also gets controlled by this. So these are the things you have to take care. You can't fix the parameters by yourself. The line speed, cure time, and the substrate temperature, they all get interwoven. Many times we have to place additional spray guns outside the booth just to bring it closer. You want to reduce the intercore time because the pipe wall thickness is very high and the speed is only 1 meter per minute. So these are the limitations.
Anytime we get questions on the stackability of the pipe,
It's not working.
so which guidelines you follow in this?
Sorry?
Many times we get the questions on stackability of the coated pipe. How high you can stack?
But
How high? How many?
the API guidelines are there. API guidelines 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever it is.
No, but it will also depend on the pipe weight, pipe thickness.
Yes,
because-
API guidelines are there for the loading and coating and for stacking. They're very clear. We determine whether it is 5 or 6 or 8, whatever it is.
It's not decided on the indentation.
No, it's
resistance
very,
of
the guidelines are in API guidelines are very clear.
Transportation of this pipeline
Yes.
depends on that as per the
Same application, same API guides, transportation as well as in the yard also.
because in transportation some other factors also enters in. Vibration is there. Road condition and everything also enters in the picture.
But I don't think it rub against the pipes, no. No. If the lashing is perfect, yes. Lashing has to be perfect.
Hello.
Yeah.
So my question is regarding the surface preparation in maintenance projects, especially for jetty pipelines, because of the special scaffolding requirement, it becomes a little difficult for surface preparation before coating to these pipelines. So what you recommend as the best way of surface preparation to get a good profile?
No, you're talking about the coating plant or it's the
Pipeline on jetties.
on jetty?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you see you have SA 2.5, then you have a tool cleaning ST3. Even for the heat sink sleeve in the barges also. Jetty is nothing like in the barge, when you're laying the pipe offshore. Then you have two types barges. One is they have the short plastic facility, the bigger barges. Where our barges, Punjab barges in India, we don't have those facilities. We have the tool cleaning, power tools. The power tool, instead of SA 2.5, it will be ST2 or ST3.
But mainly, if the pipelines are corroded and there is a metal loss, when wall thickness has reduced, there is a risk of leakages and any such spark can create explosion also.
No, we
So
we
these
are
are risky conditions. And also surface profile is minimal requirement for the coatings. So
yeah, but for corroded pipeline, we don't encounter. We don't do coating like that. Even if we use very old pipeline, very old for DVPL, which Virendra Kumar may be remembering, we used a lot of. Gale asked us to retrieve pipes. So I went and I found they were heavily corroded, and it took a lot of time to remove something like 0.5, 0.6 mm. It took many days, but you must grind it and remove all kind of pits. They have to be removed, otherwise you will not get surface profile.
okay, so it's power tool what you said.
No power tool will not work.
Okay.
It's a grinding tools.
And what about the spark generated?
So that was for small portion. Now you can't do it for the regular pipeline. No.
But they found power tool is the
No, power tool is what? Power tool is brushing. Power tool is brushing, nothing else. Power tool we are using for the heat shrink sleeves. Mr. Sethi was here, so he was not there.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
gentlemen, thank you very